Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tylearn, and today I'm here to power scale Invincible or Mark Grayson from the Amazon Prime show Invincible. Now before I start this video off, I want to give a quick shout out to Key Issues Garrick, the Chad Champ, and Zong for specifically helping me out with this video. Whenever I ask them questions about Invincible power scaling, they'll let me know, and I greatly appreciate that because without them, this video wouldn't even be possible. And even if it was, it wouldn't be as good. And so with that being said, thanks to those three, I'm able to give you guys a full scope of Invincible's powers, and be sure to go and check out Key Issues Garrick and the Chad Champs YouTube channel, where Garrick along with Nick actually run a channel and Chad just runs one by himself, and be sure to go and check out those two channels down in the description. They will be linked below there. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's deep dive into the power of Mark Grayson.
Hey, collecting rings like I'm Sonic. Bitches wanna party. My wrist getting heavy, so I got 'em on a diet, yeah. Flex like I'm Hogan. Yo, he's coming over. Yeah, we respect.
Okay, so before I go over anything specific like AP/durability and speed, I think we could quickly run down Mark's powers, as he's not really too hacksy and he's pretty standard. Quite literally, Mark is just super strong, super durable, super fast, and can fly. Another thing is Mark does have stat amplification, and that's through rage, or rage power, however they classify it in versus Battle Wiki. Point is, Mark just gets stronger whenever he's enraged. We see this in the fight with Battle Beast and the Goons, where he's clearly getting overwhelmed, but then with rage, the people that Mark was previously struggling with would then be getting overpowered by Mark, and it would then have to come to Battle Beast actually trying to put Mark down because the other guys couldn't even take him down. And Mark, I guess, has extended lung capacity, since Osmosians can breathe in space, but because Mark is human and Osmosian, that means he's a hybrid, meaning he can't fully breathe in space, so I guess it's just extended lung capacity, which is really the best way to describe it, because he can't really breathe in space, like, at all, but he can stay in space for a while, and he does, like, hold his breath when he's fighting Alan. He also should have some type of natural resistances because of the fact that he's able to be electrocuted for a pretty long time and then overpower it, along with punching molten lava. And I guess I could count this as an ability. He can take a lot of pain, or has some pretty good pain tolerance, because, those injuries that he suffered from Battle Beast, he should have died, but he didn't. And recovering from an attack like that, quite literally the next episode, is impressive in itself. Viltrumite blood was also just shown blatantly to take earth diseases like viruses and even radioactivity.
Drugs, viruses, bacteria, prions, even nanobots and radioactives. Viltrumite cells don't give a damn. They just won't die.
Now, Mark isn't the haxiest guy, but he definitely does have some decent resistances. Now we are going to be getting into the meat of the video, which is the attack potency / durability of the character, and then the speed, and I'll give an overall view of the character in my conclusion. Okay, so I'll be firstly going over his AP, as his durability should just be whatever his AP is, as he can take the force of what he's dishing out. In Mark's early showing, specifically in episode 2 when he faces off against Alan the alien, we see him actually make a crater around the moon that he made just by tackling Alan into it, and it was actually calced at mountain level, or specifically 347 megatons of TNT. I wouldn't even consider this to be Mark's best feat, as we see him blatantly overpower a meteor that was going to stop, in Omni-Man's words, a small country. So not only does he have a calculable feat that's just calced at mountain level, but he also has a feat that's blatantly shown in the show itself, which is small country. Now, there are other feats that Mark should scale to, like being able to take hits from the kaiju that was also damaging Omni-Man a little bit, and also this should be a better feat than when Omni-Man took the laser, since, the kaiju monster is a bigger threat than the laser to Omni-Man itself. However, from what I've seen at the moment, there isn't really any way to calc how strong the laser is. All we know is that there is clear radiation to it, as it was just killing a bunch of birds and it acted like a nuke. However, it is rather vague and we can't really calc it. And also, the kaiju monster in itself is kind of vague, as he did overpower Omni-Man, but in the end, Omni-Man was just fine and Mark was rather knocked out. Omni-Man then went on to get comboed by Immortal before cutting him in half, and then suppressing himself against Mark, because we clearly see hesitation within him. So it's going to be kind of weird to scale Invincible to Omni-Man, so really this is probably the highest we can get him for AP at this point. I do not think Mark scales to Omni-Man necessarily, but he would scale to at least the Omni-Man that did take the laser, as, you know, he was taking the same pain as Omni-Man from that kaiju monster. Again, he doesn't scale to Omni-Man, but there is some scaling to try and get him a little higher. However, they aren't really calced yet, so I can't really provide you guys the feat. Enough rambling though, let's move on to speed, which is going to be pretty easy. In Mark's early showings, we see him being able to catch Omni-Man's massively hypersonic baseball. Yes, this was actually calced at massively hypersonic, specifically over Mach 6000. Now there is a sub-relativistic version, though this probably might not be valid as this isn't on the Versus Battle wiki page, and not to mention I'm not good at math, so I'm not even going to get into it, but I will just show it on screen saying that it is there, so if you want to use it, you can. If you want episode 1 Mark to be sub-relativistic that badly, go ahead, be my guest. Now, speaking of relativistic, there's actually a feat that we talked about earlier, which was basically Mark slamming Alan into the moon. The speed of this feat was actually calced as well, as the mountain or the energy that Mark needed to basically make that crater was just the kinetic energy result. So, in order for Mark to be mountain level or 347 megatons of TNT, he would have to be moving at relativistic speeds. Now the thing is, this was just Mark, you know, being put to a test, not necessarily an enraged Mark or the Mark that would be fighting Omni-Man, which should be Mark's peak, as he is enraged. So I guess you could say when rage amped, he could be faster, though it is unquantifiable and very vague to go off of, so really we can just put him at this consistent relativistic speed. Personally, I believe in terms of inverse-wise, he should be in there given the fact that, again, he was able to tag Omni-Man and make him spit a little bit of blood, and although he got absolutely rocked, he still was able to take hits from Omni-Man. We gotta give him that much credit. However, I do think that people like Immortal should be stronger than Mark, given the fact that he just scales to a bloodlusted Omni-Man, and we do see Omni-Man hesitating against Mark. So people like Red Rush or Immortal or maybe even War Woman are probably above Mark in terms of scaling. However, I do think Mark in his, you know, significantly small and own way does have feats against Omni-Man. Now, take that with a very big grain of salt, as these feats aren't really feats against Omni-Man or like things to use against Omni-Man, and more so just feats for Mark, but that's really the best way I can put it. Now, in terms of inverse, Mark is definitely in there, but he isn't the strongest in the verse, and there are a couple people stronger than him, and in terms of just raw scaling, his AP and durability should be around the small country range, with the speed being relativistic. And that is where I'm going to be ending this video off for right now. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, as that is greatly appreciated, along with hitting the bell icon. That way you are notified and updated when I upload. Be sure to comment down below what other videos you would like me to do in the future, you know, specifically Invincible. It doesn't even have to be Invincible. It could be Star Wars, Cobra Kai, The Flash, Arrowverse, etc. Do what you want. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to follow me on Twitter, which will be linked in the description. Peace out, everybody. I'm going to catch y'all later. Have a nice rest of the day.